Hey guys, it's Will. So Black Sky continued to drive up in its market cap today. We saw it break out above that previous resistance. And as you guys can see, we got some more cabinets done in the back. Now we got the white. This one should be white soon, and we're going to have some more inputs on the cabinet. So thanks for the patience on the background as we remodel this apartment here that we will be renting soon. When it comes to BKSY stock, it's up 11% on the day. Now, just for some reference, go back a year. It's had this consistent downtrend that we've pointed out, consistently downtrending for the last 3 years. But what we've seen is that they are building this market cap. Yesterday, we did this analysis saying it's holding at this $13 range, and it might validate it as a resistance, that previous resistance as a support, and potentially continue its overall direction. Well, that's exactly what we saw this morning. As you could see, it was consolidating, and that was the last month, and then it broke out this morning. It really did validate it and started pushing up more, about 11%. So we were trading BBAI, we were trading Black Sky. We ended up selling Black Sky for a profit back here, and also we ended up selling what was TSLL this morning for a profit, and trading quantum computing over on Ion X, which has been interesting. It's up about 1%, but we bought on a dip there. So we'll see how it goes. When you see this Black Sky move, couple things to really follow. BKSY stock, market cap 450 million. But as we start to get towards the end of the day today, we start to see that this move here, it's getting talked about, a lot of hype articles, so be careful. But just because it's a small market cap doesn't mean it's all risk. We do see increased quarterly revenues, quarter over quarter, and we do see annual revenues increasing since 2020 pretty consistently, with their net income still looking a little negative there. But that's where it gets interesting. They have year over year revenue increasing. The profit margins are increasing year over year, and annually their total assets are pretty consolidated, right around that over $250 million in total assets, but quarterly very much increasing, as you could see here. So overall assets are up 35%. The financials look that way. So when we analyze a stock, we're looking at the markets, and we're also looking at the usage of the actual company. They're space-based intelligence, but they have satellites that they recently launched with Rocket Lab. And outside of that partnership there, they have this decision making for fast action. It's actually very similar to that of like Big Bear, right? You have this tracking of all the cars, you have tracking of all the ports, and they specialize in the decisive advantage for tactical edge. So they have some government contracts, both internationally, but also in the United States specifically, and then gaining foresight into each national security and economic conditions. So talking about ports of entry, aerial traffic, and even some heat signatures as it appears here. Now, when we're looking at their software and what they're building, it's pretty high def. It's very HD. Like I literally think if I could see ripples in the waves down in these images, it's very possible that they would be able to have as good a software that it could recognize maybe even faces, or some really, really good tech there. As far as what they're being used for, you got US satellites looking abroad for foreign nations. So they have that, but they are mostly working with the US government, and their contracts seem to be stacking slowly but surely. They got some pretty good results with the recent Rocket Lab launch. It was, if you head to the company, you could take a look at their recent news, and you could see the missions that they just launched with Black Sky. So it was the full stream ahead earlier this month, where they launched these Electron. It was Electron rocket, and it launched their Gen 3 satellites into space for what was Black Sky. So it's been pretty cool to see the developments. The news has been fairly good, and the financials, as I mentioned, have room for improvement. We'd like to see a little bit less debts probably, but I like the value they're bringing. The employees 340 is pretty on par for their current market cap of about 446 million. So it seems like they're optimizing there pretty well. And then the thing that we were watching as far as chart and profit, we were seeing this breakout above this resistance here at $12.90. We just sold our position at this resistance a couple days ago. It was right here, I believe, where we sold, and we were looking for a re-entry. And honestly, this morning we ended up trading Quantum, which is 1% gain, and selling TSLL Tesla for a profit at market open. We sold it at 1270. So that's why we weren't trading it this morning. What you want to look for when you're investing, the key is to watch some of that movement at market open. The market definitely sold off. You could see Black Sky selling off in the space tech part of the industry. But when it comes to the AI industry in general, they started up very, very green today. And that's why we sold TSLL. And the only markets that are really crushing it now as we kind of back up, oh, it's a little bit of a reversal here. Start to see BBAI and some of semiconductors make that recovery. But SPY is still down. Black Sky is holding just below this EMA. We start to see it push up. And if we zoom out just to a normal 1 hour, you could see it's well above that 200-day moving average now. We had said, hey, maybe it's going to make this move. Yesterday, we made a video. It can make this move up to this $16.90 price point, about a 30% increase. And it already made about 12% of that, 15% of that move so far. So the next targets, if it really stays bullish, we might see a sell down, even a retest down to here. It's possible. But what we're looking for is that continuation up into this $17 price range. So Black Sky, they're innovating. I think what sets them apart is their AI intelligence, because most space companies are hardware and they're maybe end to end like Rocket Lab, but they're focused on launching. They're focused on the tech, while Black Sky has a significant focus on the actual AI sector of the space tech industry. So that's where they have an advantage. We see them get some more contracts, and now they're starting to build that market cap. So again, looking for that target up here. There's volatility, as I said, so be careful. I know some of you guys just mentioned there was a comment. I think it was, I could probably find it here. We just wrapped up some daily live trading, so let me go see. But I think there was a comment from one of you guys. Tristan said, just made about 3K after buying on our analysis video yesterday. And then there was some other comments as well where people were saying that Black Sky was doing very well for them. So I think it was, I gotta find it here. But if we go to the video, we go to comments, there was some really interesting ones where you guys were like, wow, this shot up. And so market cap's a little small. When you compare it, it needs more investment when you compare it to BBAI. That's what Gregory said. But I was saying, they actually had better income than BBAI. When we were looking at their financials, their income was looking better. Their revenue in proportion. So Big Bear AI, 40 million or 35 million in revenue in their last quarter, and a negative 60 million, something like that. Black Sky had a revenue positive about $29 million, and their net income about negative 12, which is still up significantly, double digits year over year. So the financials actually looked fairly favorable. I think one of the things we were looking at with the financials was that their PE ratio and stuff was a little bit off, I think, but their valuation was not too bad. The reality of what we're looking at in these articles, a lot of them are pretty hype articles, you could see. And the long-term loss, people talk about, oh, it's just going to go and continue to do this trend that we were seeing right here. But I don't believe that's going to be the case. You see, it is making that trend. That's what it's had in the past. But I do see real value build happening in this company. And so to see them at that $20 to $23 range would put them in that $500 to $750 or $750 million market cap. And intrinsically, we like to see it. So we'll most likely be trading it more in this upcoming week. We've had some waiting on the stock to really do analysis as I've been validating more of the things we look for, the financials, the news, and all those things. But what do you think here? This question. What do you think about the overextension? Because while it looks overextended, you can see the RSI and MACD looking very overextended after this move. If we see it get into a really bullish indication like it was back here, for example, in February, when it made its run to $21, it was holding well above that 200-day moving average. And when it was overextended, yeah, we'd see those pullbacks, but it was still holding above like 40 in that RSI. And so now we're seeing, it's pushed up, but what if it does hold around 40? What if the nearest pullback is just down to here, maybe this previous resistance at 1350, somewhere in here, before that continuation into those levels? I think that would be something with BlackSky we'll be watching closely. As of this moment, it does look like it's a little overbought for the day. We might see some sell down potentially. And we'll have to see how institutions schedule their orders at the end of the day today. But getting into market open on Monday, we'll be watching it closely. And guys, we just launched our virtual stock trading system that covers emerging markets. If you want to get that full class, I just released it yesterday on YouTube. It's the first link in the description. And for those of you guys that want to join Stockmates in our live sessions, there's a special discount for you. And we just released some new, so we're putting together right now, some new targets for this upcoming week. It's taking a little bit to load. There we go. Trying to get the user interface as best as possible here. But when it comes to Stockmate, we come out with the price targets and catalysts for upcoming earnings. On Sunday, we'll be coming out with these targets for the week of next week. So if you want to get those targets as well as be in our live session Monday at Market Open, then I would encourage you to simply take a look at the second link below, as well as Stockmate will be most likely not lifetime access in its current state, as we have the daily live sessions. I do it every day. It's very ongoing, but we do have a lifetime access there that you might want to consider. Also, the free book here is one to take a look at as well, because it goes over your trading plan, how to learn the examples of a trading plan, and the emotional IQ that most investors miss. So it's something that can really help you to be able to grow as an investor mentally, and also from just a math perspective, making better educated decisions when investing. But again, it looks overextended at the moment. I think that we could see a sell down. We'll see. If not, that's the move it's making up into that 1750. There, it will face some resistance here, and we'll be watching this level at about right here. It's this resistance, and support at this $14.50 price range, where it just basically got rejected. Shot up, it got rejected there. And so now that's the next level at which we're going to watch. If not, like I said, it could be that we see it sell back down into this range right here that would put it as a bullish outlook, but still kind of finding support. So about a 6% drawdown potentially. And maybe that's the new level at which we see it consolidate here. But nevertheless, we'll be watching it closely on Monday. And if you want to be there, second link below. Thanks so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Let me know what you guys think about BlackSky down below as well. Some people are comparing it to BBAI, as BBAI has the bird's eye view, the observe, and then also you have the interesting draw where BlackSky is focused on the AI. I think it's going to be a fairly similar play, and their market cap is still fairly low. So we'll be watching there closely. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.